Welcome to Legacy Blueprints, where we help you build a strong financial foundation for generations to come. In today's episode, we have Michael, who is the Regional Vice President of Everest Funeral Concierge. Michael, please introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me. I'm a Regional Vice President of Everest Funeral Concierge, a company you might have never heard of. What we do is we help Americans in the worst time imaginable by allowing them to be prepared for that moment through a simple solution while also helping their families at time of need, which is something that everybody's going to experience. But we're doing it without having you spend too much time while you're alive, because we do not want you to stress and have to deal with those uncomfortable moments, like picking your own casket, things like that. And I don't think anybody really wants to do, but they should somehow prepare their family. We're eliminating that need.
Indeed. Now, we can go on for a while talking about the services that you guys provide, because just, the fact that we do work together, I'm aware. But before we do that, let's actually talk a little bit more about you and your background. Perhaps you can discuss your experience, what it is that you were doing prior to joining or being a part of Everest, and also what actually, made you decide to start doing this.
So we would have to go back all the way to my educational background, which was focused on finance. I wanted to be in finance. I wanted to be in banking. Money runs the world. Money you can have the greatest impact. If you work with money, you can help the most people. It's always been my motivation. I also went to the service for that. That's why I was in the Army. I served with the United States military to go ahead and give back to the people. And then I went to pursue my MBA, a focus in data analytics, as well as global strategy. And I worked for an automotive group doing something I was not proud of, which is getting people in debt into something that they were not necessarily needing. Right? People need to be able to commute. They need vehicles, but do they need overpriced vehicles to pay too much for, to go ahead and get higher interest loans that they should be getting? No. And I wasn't happy with what I was doing. It was just a job that was well compensated. It was great experience because I learned a lot of things. But at the end of the day, I wanted to help people rather than hurt them. And even when I tried to help them by telling them this is a bad loan for you, this is a bad decision for you, sometimes that keeping up with the Joneses really did get under their skin and said, nope, I'm doing this bad decision because I want to. This is my money and I'm going to do that. I think that translates into the problems we see in America today, one of the wealthiest countries on the planet, right? If you look at incomes even, if you make, I believe it's like $35,000 a year, you're the top 1% of earners in the world.
Yeah.
And it's funny because everybody always says, oh, the top 1%, top 1%. If you're in this country and you're making just above minimum wage, you are in the top 1% of the world of earners. Crazy. And yet, fewer than 4 out of 10 Americans can afford a random $1,000 expense if it were to happen to them overnight. How do we get here? Well, we get here because we issue credit before we issue income. We issue out credit cards and ways to get into debt before we teach about the concepts of finance, and we actually don't have anything in the system to teach about it. So people go into crazy debt to go to school, and they don't even know if they want to complete it. We have these folks going into credit card debt right out, paying for cars, paying for shoes and bags and vacations and whatever it may be, just to keep up with the status quo of everybody else. But in reality, there are so many people with Louis bags at the airport that have less than $500.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So lots to discuss. And we're definitely going to get into more of the details. So prior to this, you have quite a bit of experience in the professional space. Now, why did you decide to key in on finances initially, and then also more so in the funeral concierge?
So funeral is my first step into this world of helping people. And I think
they help people. Like, don't you guys just make money? Like, I don't believe that, but people like to say, only you just making money off people's death or their misery.
So funeral homes are making money off of people's deaths because that's their model, right? Now, it's not to say that they're bad or evil. Everything you buy, everything you do makes somebody money. The whole cycle of the American economy, of a capitalistic economy, is You're spending someone else's income. So if we start to justify that spending or that making money is evil, then everybody's evil. Every time you buy something, you are evil. You're buying groceries, you're evil. So to me, that's one problem. But there are ways to spend that are not productive and ways that are productive. What we provide is protection. We provide people financial protection for that guaranteed event. So Everest Funeral Concierge is a funeral concierge and service plan that's rolled into a life insurance.
Life insurance.
Yes.
That's a scam.
Life insurance is a scam?
That's what they say.
That's what it is.
It's not going to do me any good.
So why do you think people say life insurance is a scam?
Well, because insurance is just for when you die. So they're never going to see, the benefits while they're still alive. That's what they say.
Or a good one that they always tell me, that's someone else's problem. I'm not going to be here. So why am I paying for it?
Okay. There are a couple ways to target that. First and foremost, majority of insurance products today come with living benefits and access to your money beforehand that provide you with protection and upside potential. Right, so you get all those aspects of it that people don't even dig into because the word insurance scares them away. Right? So they don't even look into how beneficial it could be for them to do this. That's one. Number two is, are we really that selfish that if I'm not here, it's not my problem? So I'm going to pose this.
I've seen people literally tell me, I don't care what happened.
Fair enough. I posed them this question. Do you want to be known in your family as the person who left generational wealth or generational trauma?
Exactly.
It's a great question.
Which one do you want to choose?
The wealth.
Wealth.
Actually, legacy.
That's legacy. Building a legacy is important to some. But I will agree, there are people that do not care about legacy.
Yeah.
And in that case, be selfish. Get that policy that does have those benefits that you can utilize for retirement. But make sure there's enough left to not leave your family with debt.